Baby girl, I seriously do not get it why girls in their 30s be like, ugh, I am so behind in life. Behind what, babe? The race to burn out and marry a walking red flag? Please! You ditched it.
Not to be a hater, but have you noticed that some Gen Z influencers are aging like milk left out in the sun? Not in the life is hard kind of way, but in the why do you look like a 35-year-old corporate mom with 2 toddlers and a husband named Greg when you're barely 21 kind of way? Picture this. You're in your Pilates class, stretching into downward dog, minding your business, when you glance at the girl next to you and assume she's a fully grown mama who just dropped her kids at school and is treating herself to a post-school run workout. You think, oh, good for her. You strike up a conversation. She turns, smiles, and says, I'm 21. You nearly fall off your mat. And that, my friend, is exactly what happened this week. But let me tell you, the real shocker wasn't her age. It was the realization that we've been watching Jazmine, the so-called big sister of YouTube, melt down in real time while pretending everything is fine. Like, girly pop, are you good? This isn't just about Botox. This isn't just about a filter here and a lie there. This is about manipulation, contradictions, and the kind of toxic girl power that only works when she's at the center of attention. You know, the type of person who says, I only hang out with girls who are pretty, smart, and not jealous, which really means I don't want anyone around me who might outshine me. Jazminetan has officially lost it. And her toxic little circle. Oh, they're not just enabling it. They're part of the problem. Let's get into it. At first glance, Jazminetan seemed like a fresh breeze in the overcrowded world of influencer culture. She wasn't just giving skincare tips or recycling Pinterest affirmations. She had a persona. She was that girl, the confident, cool big sister who tells you men ain't worth your time, reminds you to romanticize your life, and teaches you how to live with main character energy. She built a brand on empowerment, on loving yourself, on setting standards. But here's the thing about building a brand on perfection. The moment people spot a crack, they start chipping away, and with Jazmine, the entire damn wall fell. And it's not just the hypocrisy we're going to talk about. It's the manipulation, the double standards, the girl code violations, and most importantly, the people around her who not only let it happen but amplified it. So buckle up. Because this rabbit hole, it goes deep. Jazmine's Pinterest social experiment was supposed to be a mic drop moment. In the video, she pretends to prove that Pinterest favors images of ugly boys while refusing to show anything when you search ugly girls. Sounds shocking, right? Only, it was fake. Literally fabricated. She manually created a Pinterest board full of images labeled ugly boys, then passed them off as organic search results. She played it like it was a societal revelation, like she cracked some digital code proving once and for all that men are treated better than women, even in search algorithms. But in reality, she just lied. And for what? Clicks? Clout? Validation? The worst part is that her fans, mostly young girls looking for someone to trust, believed her. Because Jazmine used to seem trustworthy. You know what's funny though? She did all this while preaching about authenticity. Be real, be raw, be unfiltered, she said as she applied a beauty filter on her little sister in another video. The same sister she says she's raising to be confident. Yeah, confidence with a slimming filter. That's not self-love. That's self-manipulation dressed up as sisterly advice. Here's where it gets juicy. Because Jazmine didn't get to where she is alone. She had help, and not the good kind. Her inner circle of baddies isn't just your average influencer squad. They're a whole ecosystem of toxicity, and each one plays a role in enabling the mess we're watching unfold. Let's talk about Rachel, the self-proclaimed baddie who's always lurking in Jazmine's vlogs. Always cheering her on, always low-key co-signing her shady comments. She's the hype girl who never says hey maybe don't do that, but always says yas queen, post it. Then there's Chloe, the one who's spiritual, always talking about aligning chakras, but somehow ends up in every petty drama. She's the kind of friend who pretends to be above it all but is actually pulling strings behind the scenes. If there's a group chat where screenshots are being passed around and people are being dragged, she's probably the admin. And let's not forget MIA, the quiet one who never speaks up. Which sounds harmless until you realize she never speaks up, even when Jazmine's behavior is out of line. Silence, in this case, is just another form of loyalty to the problem. Together, they form the perfect storm. A group that rewards drama, encourages lies, and reinforces toxic patterns, all while smiling in matching crop tops on Instagram. It's giving Mean Girls, just with better lighting and worse intentions. Jazmine loves to talk about confidence. But confidence without empathy? That's just arrogance. She tells girls not to chase men, not to seek validation, not to tolerate mediocrity. All valid advice until you realize she breaks those same rules the moment it benefits her. She says don't let men define you, but then goes on multiple rants about how women should always look like a prize because you never know who's watching. Sis, are we empowering each other or auditioning for The Bachelor? And when she's not contradicting herself, she's low-key bullying other women under the guise of honesty. From saying a 21-year-old looks like a mother of two to making snide remarks about her followers' appearances, it's clear Jazmine confuses cruelty with confidence. This isn't about women supporting women. It's about Jazmine supporting herself and only herself at the expense of everyone else. Jazmine's downfall didn't happen overnight. But the switch in public opinion? That was fast. Fans who once flooded her comment section with "Slay Queen" and "This is the truth we needed" are now asking real questions. They're calling out her contradictions, dragging her for faking social experiments, and wondering out loud why she feels the need to tear others down to lift herself up. And what did Jazmine do in response? Did she own up? Take accountability? Even just acknowledge the backlash? Nope. She doubled down. She posted a story saying, "I said what I said, and if you don't like it, unfollow." Like, girl, nobody's trying to cancel you for no reason. We're just holding you to your own standards. You can't build your entire platform on being real and then get mad when people notice that you're faking it. This is more than an internet scandal. It's a case study in how influencer culture twists self-love into a marketing gimmick. Jazminetan didn't just lose the plot, she threw out the entire script and started improving her way through accountability. Her friends, not helping. Her fans, finally waking up. And us. We're just watching it all burn down like it's the finale of a reality show we didn't even know we were subscribed to. But don't worry. This is only the beginning. In part 2, we're going even deeper into Jazmine's fake friendships, her past drama receipts, and the moments she got exposed for backstabbing people she called her sisters. Spoiler alert, the snakes weren't just in the comments. So subscribe, stay locked in, and get ready because this influencer drama is far from over. Part 2, Behind the Pretty Filters, the ugly truth about her friendships. If part 1 was the fire alarm, part 2 is where we walk through the house and see all the flames. Because if you think Jazminetan's toxic behavior is limited to a few fake Pinterest experiments and a superiority complex, just wait until we dissect her so-called friendships, the girls she paraded around on Instagram like a badge of honor, only to drop or betray the moment they outshone her or questioned her motives. Jazmine's friend group isn't a squad, it's a revolving door. Let's start with Anika, remember her? The girl who used to be in every other vlog, the one who Jazmine called her ride or die, her soul sister, her mirror, until she started gaining more followers and catching more attention on TikTok. That's when Jazmine slowly started phasing her out of photos, cropping her out of group shots, and reposting videos from parties where Anika was clearly present but never tagging her. And when fans started asking what happened, radio silence. No, we grew apart. No, we're on different paths. Not even a fake love her always story post. Just pure erasure, as if Anika had never existed. But this wasn't a one-time thing, this is Jazmine's pattern. Let's look at Liv, the shy one, who used to be Jazmine's emotional support bestie. For a while, Liv was the girl Jazmine would cry to on camera, the one she'd vent to when life got hard or when the trolls got too much. She called Liv her emotional anchor, praised her for being real, grounded, and the opposite of a clout chaser. So what went wrong? Liv made the mistake of calling Jazmine out privately over a situation where Jazmine made a backhanded remark about one of their mutual friends' body during a group spa trip. It wasn't even public, it was a DM, a "hey babe, maybe that wasn't cool" kind of message. You know how Jazmine responded? She posted a cryptic story about how some people will pretend to support you but are secretly jealous of your light, and she unfollowed Liv within 24 hours. She also made sure that every mutual friend chose a side. Because Jazmine doesn't do disagreements, she does exile. Let's be honest, Jazmine's entire approach to friendship feels less like connection and more like branding. She surrounds herself with women who either boost her image or blend into the background. If you're too pretty, too loud, too opinionated, you're a threat. But if you stay quiet, laugh at her jokes, and repost her content without ever challenging her, you're golden. Take Leah, for example. She was Jazmine's +1 at every event for a year straight. Fashion Week, brand launches, paid collabs, Leah was there. But Leah also started getting her own offers, building her own presence, and God forbid, getting more likes than Jazmine on a joint post. Guess what happened? Jazmine posted a TikTok about how fake friends will use you for your platform, then dip and unfollowed Leah the next day. No context. Just another girl discarded the moment she became inconvenient. Now here's where it gets even uglier. Remember the anonymous Reddit thread that popped up a few months ago, the one where someone claiming to be a former friend dropped screenshots of a group chat called Princess Energy? Yeah, we all thought it was fake at first, until eagle-eyed fans matched the profile pics, timestamps, and usernames to Jazmine and her inner circle. The group chat was not what you'd expect from a bunch of self-proclaimed feminists. Instead of supporting each other or uplifting other women, the messages were a mess of passive-aggressive shade, backhanded compliments, and mockery. They talked about influencer girls they thought looked too bloated, mocked another creator's cringy spiritual phase, and joked about a plus-size girl who showed up at their event in a crop top. Jazmine didn't just participate, she led the comments. She dropped voice notes saying things like, "I get body positivity, but like, let's be real, there are some clothes not everyone should be wearing." Yap. The same girl who claims to empower women told her friends someone should have covered up because brands were watching. So much for sisterhood. Let's talk about the big betrayal that started the shift in public opinion. Jazmine's situationship with that mildly famous DJ, you know the one. They were never officially together, but they were in each other's stories. He flew her out to Bali once, and she posted those blurry hotel mirror selfies every time they linked up. Well, enter Casey, one of Jazmine's friends, or at least she thought she was. While Jazmine was publicly saying they were just close friends with chemistry, privately, she was telling the group chat that he was basically her man and they were just keeping it low for now. So when Casey was spotted on a dinner date with him just weeks later, all hell broke loose. Jazmine posted a story with the caption, "Some girls will smile in your face and kiss the man you cried over. I hope the meal was worth it, sis." The internet immediately clocked what happened, and Jazmine's fans went feral. They started dragging Casey, deeming her threats, calling her a snake, a thief, and worse. But what Jazmine never admitted is that she and the DJ were never exclusive, and she herself had flirted with Casey's ex just months before that. Hypocrisy? Check. Double standards? Every time Jazmine's caught in a mess, whether it's a fake experiment, a body-shaming comment, or a fallout with a friend, she plays the same card. The "I'm just a sensitive girl who trusted the wrong people" card. And it works, until it doesn't. Because you can only cry wolf so many times before people stop believing the tears. And lately, the tears, they're starting to look like manipulation. In her last apology video, if you can even call it that, she spent the first 5 minutes listing all the ways she's been bullied and how hard it is being a woman online. She then said she never meant to hurt anyone and that her content comes from a place of love. But not once did she directly address the group chat leaks, the fake social experiment, or the repeated betrayals. Not once did she mention any names or offer real accountability. It was a performance, not a confession. For a while, Jazmine's followers were fiercely loyal. They defended her, justified her actions, and attacked anyone who dared to question her. But recently, the tide has shifted. More and more former fans are speaking up, creating expose threads, pulling up receipts, and calling out the toxicity masked as confidence. And they're not just haters, they're the same people who once looked up to her, who bought the journals she sold, who took her advice seriously. They feel betrayed. Because Jazmine wasn't just a content creator, she was a role model. And when role models mess up, it stings deeper. Let's be clear, nobody's cancelling Jazminetan. This isn't about tearing a woman down. It's about recognizing that the woman who claimed to be a big sister, a truth teller, a safe space for girls, was using that image as a shield while hurting the very people who trusted her. This isn't hate, it's accountability. This isn't gossip, it's a wake-up call. Because if we don't talk about how influencers weaponize their image, abuse their platform, and manipulate their followers, we're enabling it. And Jazmine? She's not just lost the plot. She's burned the script, flipped the table, and tried to rewrite reality. But now, reality is catching up. So here we are. Jazminetan, once the blueprint for soft girl energy, digital empowerment, and Gen Z confidence, now stands at the center of one of the messiest friendship exposés we've seen this year. And we haven't even covered the brand drama, the shady sponsorships, or the fan DMs that got exposed by a former assistant. That's coming in part 3. Because this story, oh baby, it's just getting started. Stay tuned, let's stop pretending this is just another influencer scandal. Let's stop acting like Jazminetan is just going through it or having a moment. Because at this point, we're way past the crying on camera phase and deep into something darker. Jazmine didn't just lose a few friends. She didn't just get caught in 1 or 2 lies. She didn't just fall off like some people do when the algorithm turns on them. No. Jazminetan has officially lost it. And the signs were always there. We just weren't looking closely enough, let's be honest. This was never about friendship. It was about power, control, perception. Every single bestie she highlighted was more than just a friend. They were pawns, props, human accessories she used to decorate her narrative. She wanted to be the main character, and in her world, that meant everyone else had to play supporting roles. Even when they didn't realize it. The soft-spoken friend was there to make her look confident. The curvy friend was there to make her waist look smaller. The socially anxious friend was there to make her seem more charismatic in contrast. It was all calculated. But you know what happens when your friends stop playing their assigned roles? They become threats. And Jazmine doesn't know how to handle threats. For years, Jazmine sold us this image of safe girlhood, of spiritual resets, hot girl walks, morning routines, journaling under lavender skies. She spoke about self-love, about protecting your energy, about manifesting your dream life. And people believed her. But here's what she never said. You can't manifest self-worth by tearing other people down. You can't protect your energy while secretly poisoning everyone else's. You can't call yourself a girl's girl while laughing behind your friends' backs and weaponizing their secrets for clout. The truth is, the brand of femininity Jazmine sold was always performative. It was rooted in aesthetic, not authenticity. It was about how things looked on camera, not how they felt behind the scenes. She told us to love ourselves. But she didn't love herself enough, to be honest. To say I messed up, instead of you're all just haters. To take accountability, instead of hiding behind her fanbase. This wasn't one big mistake that ended her. It was 100 small ones she never took responsibility for. Losing Anika. Throwing Liv under the bus. The group chat leaks. The DJ mess. The body shaming. The brand deals she exaggerated. The toxic manipulation of fans' emotions with crocodile tears. It wasn't one thing. It was a pattern. And patterns don't lie. You can't build your empire on other people's backs forever. Eventually the weight crushes you. Eventually the people you stepped on start speaking up. And when they do, you can't silence all of them. Not anymore. The worst part. Jazmine still doesn't think she did anything wrong. She still posts spiritual quotes. Still tags brands like she's the hero of her own comeback story. Still throws vague shade at toxic people when in reality, she's been the storm in everyone else's life for years.